Okay, in this tutorial I'll show you how I go about creating a background image for my scene. Now I don't typically like to use these. You have the world button here and you can use that, and you have these built-in options for using these types of sky effects, but they kind of ramp horizontally when you use a shading effect, and I don't want that. I want to be able to have perspective in my drawing, so I actually prefer to use a programming language to either generate a gradient background or hand paint a gradient background, or use some kind of just photographic image as my background. So there's one little problem that you can run into. So let me first change this view a little bit here. I could just go get a better view of the scene so I can see a background in here. Alright, that's good enough for starters, and then I'll render it. Alright, so well, at least so it says. So now I want to be able to put where's my camera? Right there. So I'm going to come over here and just add a plane to the scene, and maybe I'll scale it by 20. Well, that's a little bit much, but it'll work. RX, and then I'll rotate it like this, kind of move it out of the scene there. Alright, and then I'll give it a material. I'll turn down the specularity like this, and you'll notice that sometimes if it's too far away, so you can't really see it, you can see it's trying to shine some light on it, but it's too far away. So you have one of the problems is going to be lighting it in the scene. Alright, because there are no lights back there. So I could add a bunch of lights in front of it close by. I could just even take any existing light, but then you're adding light to the scene unless you're using a lot of local point lights, and that can take some time. So first thing I'll do is I'll try it just by adding the texture. Alright, so I'll bring up the tool shelf, I'll go into edit mode, I'll come down here and I'll unwrap it, and I'll do a smart UV project and just say OK. And then I have to come over here and add a material or a texture to it. I'll say new, change the clouds to an image or movie, change it to UV project for the texture coordinates, and then open up some image. I don't know, I had this open. Let's just use, I don't know, blue-gray tile. Well, that's not really a great background, but it'll work. Alright, so I'll leave that. So I don't see it there, even though I'm set to texture coordinates right here, and I am set to GLSL shading, so I should be able to see it, but not yet. And that's primarily because of one thing. I don't have lighting in the scene, though it should be there. So let's come down to one thing, back into the material tab. You just have to make sure you come down here and crank up your emissions. That is the most important. So suddenly it's in there, and the nice thing about that, it basically just gives you control of it without giving you other lighting effects, because typically what I've already pre-drawn my image, or I've taken the photograph and it's already in the form that I want it, so I don't want to change it within here sometimes. Alright, so now let's go look at it in camera mode and render it. Now where's my rendering? Where has my rendering gone? How come I don't see my image? Oh, I bet I know why. Let's see, let's go up into the, yeah, I'm quite sure I know why. Let's see. Maybe not. We're going to find out though. I'll go over here. Just change the clipping plane like that. Okay, now let's go back in here in F12. And there it is like that. Alright, so those are a couple things. The clipping plane to watch out for, and especially the emission for the material itself. And then you can generate nice images without having to rely on the built-in ones within the world scene like that. And so here's this basic animation. I'll just run this animation. I think it's in here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just doing some more shattering effects, kind of doing slow motion. I might do a tutorial on this. Basically all it's doing here is that the rate at which things are breaking apart is changing because I have different masses set up on different objects. Right, these ones that go flying first, they're definitely much lighter mass in the rigid bodies than these here, and so that kind of helps the simulation. Alright, well that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.